All right, welcome to this evening's meeting. We're going to have our invocation by Pastor Vincent Broomfield of Living Faith Tabernacle in Forest Park, be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would, stand with me. Pastor Broomfield.
Good evening, commissioners and great citizens. If you would bow your heads with me. Father, we bless you on tonight, and we say thank you for this day. God, we ask that you would come into this place on tonight. Allow your presence to be made known as you are with this great county, the great commissioners, as well as these great citizens here in this county. Be with them on tonight as they come to handle your business here in this county, oh God. We pray that as on tonight they have come with their problems at hand, you would give them wisdom, give them knowledge. Thank you for being with our state, our nation, and this county. Everyone that works here, everyone that lives here, we come together in agreement on common ground to handle the business of this county. Lord, we bless you and we honor you. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Welcome to the regular Clayton County Commissioners Board meeting. The first order of business tonight would be the adoption of the agenda. Any commissioners have any changes or corrections?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to take number 14 separately, please. Item 14.
If you could hold that motion, because I'd like to remove it for
Thank
further
you.
discussion.
Oh, good.
So if I may, I'll make a motion to remove item 14. Is there a second? Well, let me read
Second.
what 14 is for the people.
Commissioner seconded.
It's ordinance 2019-84, still amend civil service rules and regulations, as amended specifically to amend Rule 11-310, final decision of board on an appeal. It's been properly moved and second. Are there any questions? Hearing none, those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. I would like to also remove item H, which it's a board appointment to the Elections and Registration Board. That position has already been filled. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hambrick. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Are there any other corrections? We have a motion. Could I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second, Mr. Chair.
All right. It's been properly moved and second. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Next, we will have a presentation from the Clayton County Fire and Emergency Service.
Ms. Gaines, if you will please bring Judarius and your family down to stand with the board. Mr. Chair, members of the Board of Commissioners, it's my pleasure on behalf of Commissioner Davis, who could not be here this evening, to recognize one of our upstanding young men, a hero truly in every sense of the word. Too often we're quick to point out the inactions and failures of our youth, but we're not as quick to point out when they do something truly amazing. So This evening, what we want to do is recognize a young man and his family. On June 22nd of this year, these public servants you see standing in front of you responded to a report of a house fire over on Forest Knoll Drive. When we got that call, it did come in as a working fire with potential people still inside the facility. When we got to the house, we were pleased and elated to know that Mr. Judarius Lawson not only recognized the fire, immediately notified fire and EMS, but proceeded to get all of his siblings out of the home, take them next door to safety, and then returned into the structure to get his younger brother, who has special needs, and ensured the safety of all his kids. So because of his actions, we did not have any injuries. More importantly, we did not have any victims of this fire. Our people were able to quickly go in, get the fire knocked out, save as much of the property and valuables as we could. And it is because of his quick actions that his family is still intact with no injuries from this event. So we are truly proud of him, and it is for that action and effort that he took that it is my pleasure to give him the highest honor that we award civilians, which is the Clayton County Fire and Emergency Services Civilian Medal of Valor.
Let me add that, like the chief said, we are quick to criticize our young people, but when they do something great and terrific and life-saving, they should be awarded, they should be recognized, and we should sing their high praises to high hands. So let's make sure that we really give this family, this young man, and our year-old 10th grader. All right. All right. Thank you very much.
The board will now hear public comments. Citizens will be given 3 minutes maximum time limit to speak before the Board of Commissioners. Please state your name and county of residency for the record. Speak clearly into the microphone, and speakers should be courteous, respectful, and not make any disparagatory remarks or use abusive language when addressing the board.
Linda Ingram.
Chairman and Commissioners, my name is Linda Ingram, and I'm from the city of Riverdale. No complaints. I want to say good things about animal control tonight. As you know, I'm very passionate about the dogs, so when things go wrong down there, the chairman's going to hear from me. Well, I want to say before Richard and I start on the rest of our good golden years, I want to say that this past year has been wonderful. You used to hear about Clayton County, it was always animal control, how bad it was. Well, if you want the county to move forward, we've got a good animal control. Now, let's keep it that way. Major Godfrey, God seen, we prayed for this man for so long, but as I was saying, God has his own time, and when it's time, we get what we want. So last year, we were it was at the road show, Chairman, that we met everybody, the policemen and everything at South Lake. We talked to Major Godfrey, among our other policemen, and my daughter and I walked out to the car, and we looked at each other, and we said, we need this man for this Clayton County job. A few minutes later, God answered our prayers and brought him to Clayton County Animal Control. Things have been wonderful out there, and the staff is great. If people don't like animals, they don't know what I'm talking about. That's okay. But the people that are passionate about animals, they will understand. As far as the splash that I heard a few minutes ago, that Penny Splash about that new animal control that we have out there. And if you haven't seen it, you should go see it. And we have a new vet out there now, and the staff is great. I've known the staff for ages, and the staff work hard. They really do. They're great out there. But I just want to say thank y'all. Keep up the good work. And as Richard and I going into a few golden years later on, I just want to say that I'm proud of Animal Control. I'm proud of y'all. And Chief Roberts, thank you so much for bringing the Major Godfrey to Animal Control. That's what I got to say.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I believe it's Angela Harrison Collier.
Good evening, Chair, Commissioners. I'm Angela Harrison Collier, and I live in Hampton. And I am going to try to be as clear and succinct as I can be today, given the incident that I have to share with you. On Monday, July 8th, my daughter, traveling through Riverdale, stopped at the Walmart in Riverdale to purchase a money order for a background check for her upcoming job. When she stopped there, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, she was attacked physically and verbally. Let me share with you what my daughter posted on social media. I no longer feel safe in a city that I have resided and shared childhood memories for 15 years. Today, at the Walmart on Highway 85 in Riverdale, that I know and have visited over 1,000 times, my personal space was invaded. I was spit at, called racial slurs, and physically attacked by 2 Mexican-American men. I never felt more disrespected in my life in a place that was all too familiar to me. No street fight or neighborhood spat could have prepared me for what I encountered today. I think I'm more upset that it took almost 10 minutes for another black male to defend me more than anything, after numerous men just walked by and didn't even try to aid me. In that moment, I was alone, and it is something I shall never forget. She reported this to the Riverdale police. The police was called. No one showed up on the scene. She later called the Walmart to share what happened. They completely blew her off. I am here tonight because it is a call to action. There is no way someone should be attacked in such a manner in the daylight. My child could have been abducted or killed. According to data, most abductions take place between 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Given the fact that Riverdale sits off the 75 corridor, and we understand and know what happens with human trafficking off the 75 interstate corridor. So as a parent, yes, I am extremely disturbed. And I expect for something to happen. I have reached out to the mayor of Riverdale, the chief of police of Riverdale, and the county commissioners. I choose to live, work, educate my child, and play, spend my tax dollars in Clayton County.
Ma'am,
So
I'm sorry your
expect
time
more.
is up.
Thank you.
Thank you. And it seems like you have spoken to the right people in terms of over at the city, the police chief, and you're trying to get in touch with the mayor. But yes, I agree wholeheartedly. Nobody should not ever be disrespected in the way that your daughter was disrespected?
Unfortunately, I have had very little response. And that's the sad thing about it, is that I have reached out and I have had very little response, and I expect more from my elected officials.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. Can't read the first name, but the last name is McMillan, I believe. That's a free. They used to have it up there.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, Chairman. My name is Sabrina, and I'm a person in long-term recovery.
What's your full name, ma'am?
Sabrina McMillan. I live in Jonesboro.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm a person in long-term recovery, and what that means for me is that I have not used any mood or mind-altering substances for 29 years.
Great.
We started a recovery community organization that we miscommunicated with you all at the Aquatic Center, and it was very successful, so I want to thank y'all for that. We've started some peer support meetings to help our opioid epidemic families, because not only are we affected, we're infected. And our organization is here to help the community deal with that. We come through the Georgia Council of Substance Abuse, and right now we're meeting at Pastor Riley's church. We're looking for a bigger place, but right now we just want to post this flyer and give support to the families in the community and let them know that we're here to help. And as a result of y'all letting us have that symposium, we have a list of everything that everybody asked for in the community, and this is where our job starts. Thank you.
Get that from her. Is that for us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you again.
Yes, ma'am. Timothy Vondale Jefferson.
Good evening, Chair, Commissioners. Timothy Vondale Jefferson, unelected citizen of District 3. I guess I'm going to be repetitive again because I'm very, very concerned about the dysfunction of the Development Authority. On Tuesday night, I went to a meeting, and the structure is just pathetic. The current employees are fine. They are well versed in their skill set. However, there seemed to be a ring around moving money. And there was a resolution passed at the board meeting creating a small business loan program. So consequently, they voted to move $500,000 into this account to prepare for the SBA loan application. And I haven't been able to verify it, and I think the Board of Commissioners, I don't know if Mr. COO can help me, that y'all supposed to put in $700,000 of matching funds for this program. Is my assumption correct? You're not aware of that. Okay, but this was spoken about at the meeting, that they was gonna do $500,000 in this SBA loan program, with some of the loans are forgivable, which concerns me, and that the BOC was supposed to do another $700,000, which would create a $1.2 million fund that would go unmonitored again. We have already spent over $400,000 with no deliverables within the last year. We are hesitating on this IGA agreement that was fraudulently drafted. We really need to get control of the Development Authority, because that is one of the key components that we need in economic growth in our community, so that we can offset some of this millage rate, so that we can start creating projects such as condos, mixed-use development, so that we can get some revenue generating created in our county. But when you have a dysfunctional organization that does not seem to have the skill set to get anything moving, it's just a deep concern of mine, and I think that it needs to be addressed immediately, Chairman. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Jordan Victoria. Okay. Dion Holloway. I'm sorry, Holland. Okay, is that Miss Yolanda Wooden? Wooden. Okay, y'all speaking separately, or?
We speak together.
So y'all speaking on the same 3 minutes then?
Yes.
You know you only got 3 minutes, right? Okay.
Good evening, commissioners. We live on
State your name.
Dion Holland.
Yolanda Wooten.
We live on Crestridge Lane in Riverdale, Georgia, and we are having a safety issue, and we have made numerous phone calls to the police as well as the commissioners about a tow truck that is that's parked on the street, that is blocking, that is impeding traffic.
It is impeding traffic, and what we're asking for tonight is some assistance in order to get the vehicle off of the street. The gentleman is capable of parking the vehicle in his driveway. It is causing a safety hazard in our community. We have to swerve into oncoming traffic in order to get out of the community. We've asked him, he states that he has a contract with the county and no one will do anything. No, he stated no one with the county would do anything about it. So we're asking for some type of assistance. We do not want to continue to have to call police to come out for a situation that can be resolved if the tenant would just park it consistently in the driveway.
Yeah, let me say this. I was made aware of that, and I actually seen some photographs of it. I think the contract is with the city of Riverdale, I believe.
Okay.
But I'm looking at, because it is in unincorporated Clayton County, so we're gonna get some resolution on that.
Okay, we thoroughly appreciate it, and we appreciate everyone's help, everyone who has helped us with this up to this
Okay,
time.
and if you would, on your way out, no, I want her to have my card, not the chief. I want you to reach out. Give her my cards right quick. But give me a call, and we'll discuss it.
And should we send you anything?
No, you don't have to send me
Nothing
anything.
else, just give, okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. Dr. Henry Anderson.
Thank you very much.
Henry Anderson, unincorporated Clayton County, Hampton, Georgia. And continuing to talk about and discuss crime, criminal activity, unlawful actions, behaviors, and conduct in unincorporated Clayton County, which is under the jurisdiction and oversight and control of our Clayton County Police Department. I will now start and present the crime statistical information, empirical data numbers on the 6th major crime category, which is burglary. Burglary is defined as the unlawful and illegal entry into a structure like a home, office, building, or business with the intent to commit a crime like stealing or theft inside. No physical breaking and entering is required for it to be a burglary. The criminal offender may commit the burglary by trespassing and entering through an unlocked or an open door. Last year, 2018, in unincorporated Clayton County, which is under the jurisdiction, oversight, and control of our Clayton County Police Department, there were 1,979 reported cases of burglaries compared to 2,078 reported cases in 2017 and 2,348 reported cases in 2016. The crime analysis to date, last year, 2018, the number of reported cases of burglaries in unincorporated Clayton County decreased by 99 when compared to 2017, which was a 4.8% decrease. The commentary: even though our great Clayton County Police Department, which is under the authority, leadership, guidance, and command of our exemplary, excellent, hardworking, and top-performing Chief of Police Kevin Roberts, is to be highly commended, praised, and celebrated on achieving a 4.8% reduction in our burglary crime rate in 2018. The facts are that the burglaries in unincorporated Clayton County, as well as in all of Clayton County, are done mainly by the criminally minded and crime-committing youth, teenagers, young adults, and gang members in Clayton County, and it continues to speak to and reflects on the massive number of apartment homes, mobile homes and trailer home parks, rental home and investment properties, low-end houses and townhomes, extended stay hotels and motels, Section 8 houses, etc. in Clayton County that houses them as they bring with them their criminal intentions and tendencies as they plan, target, and commit their crimes of violence, assaults, robbery, robberies, stealing, burglaries, motor vehicle thefts, etc., against the decent, hard-working, honest, honorable, law-abiding, principled, respectful, upstanding, well-behaving, well-disciplined, and well-mannered taxpaying citizens of Clayton County who, in addition to making a choice to live in Clayton County, are great Clayton County citizens and assets because we are taxpayers and homeowners in Clayton County, and we also bring value, worth, class, esteem, and professionalism to Clayton County, and only want to live in a county where the crime rate is low and where crime and criminal activities, actions, events, occurrences, and incidences are at a minimal, and not have crimes, criminal acts, or criminal actions committed against their own person, homes, cars, or other personal properties that they own. I will continue to give the crime statistical information, empirical data, and numbers on all of the 8 major crime categories for unincorporated Clayton County at the next Clayton County Board of Commissioners regular business meeting.
Great. Mr. Alvin Farmer.
Mr. Alvin Farmer, Clayton County. I'm going to pass these on to you. These are check stubs that I did recycling from my home. And I will show you the amount of money.
What's the purpose of you providing us with check stubs for your recycling?
I want you to receive the kind of money. These 3 things add up to $97.73. The second thing I'm going to pass on to you, you gave me this paper with them acronyms. You got some errors in there. I want you to go back and look at them and see that because I marked them. The third thing is I'm passing on this information and I'll report to you. The fourth thing in this document now, what is this Board of Commissioners thing, you got some errors in that. If you pass them on the commissioner, look at them, and I'll have them clean. I want my check stubs back, though.
But keep your check stubs.
No, I want you to see it. The Japanese say a picture worth 1,000 words. The second thing is, that lady came in here to talk about that truck being parked in her area. I informed you about the stop sign at the aquatic center when we're coming out. I've been gone over a month, probably about 6 weeks, and that sign still has not been removed. That's an accident waiting to happen. I don't know why it takes so long to do that. The right turn lane at Noah's Ark when you head north, I spoke to you about that. I still see no progress in that. I informed you about the sensors when you're, for me coming to Terra Boulevard, if I'm heading north off of any road, those sensors on the road does not work. I got a vehicle discrimination case. I called a policeman, he came out. We had a small SUV in our neighborhood. The policeman came and says, y'all don't move SUVs, and then they know this vehicle has been stolen, but you will move tractor trailer trucks. That's vehicle discrimination. Anything that they know that's been stolen, you should remove it from somebody's area and then take fingerprints of that thing and then have the person that stole it or the owner pay the money. And then if you catch the person and then the owner pays for it, that he get the money back from the person. That recycling thing, I showed you proof. Nothing pretty much goes in my trash and recycled. My plastic bags, I take them to Kroger. The other stuff, I take them over there by that school bus place I told you about. So we can do this. I don't know why y'all hesitate with this. And what's going on with my National Geological Intelligence Agency information? That gentleman informed me on 60 Minutes, I informed you, ladies and gentlemen, he says 6 million people now in the future. They are building a $1.7 billion facility in the St. Louis area as we speak. And that's jobs. We need to get our kids involved in that and get some of them jobs because they're high-paying jobs. Oh, we need a jacuzzi at the Aquatic Center and Griswold Center. And when we going to have a recycling month, you had a park month, I think it was, or whatever that was.
Mr. Farmer, your time is up. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Regina Enriquez.
Good evening again. I came back again with the same problem.
State your name and your residence.
Regina Henriquez, and 938 Terrence Avenue. Since I came here to report my neighborhood, I became like discrimination to me. They destroy my stuff, and every single day they break into my house and steal it. And even one of the Antonies called legal aid to make appointment to come there with me to help me for them to do They told them I said I'm moving to New York. So they didn't answer nothing. And I don't have money to hire a regular lawyer. And my house is messy. I use all my money to fix it, and I don't have any income. And they keep on stealing from me, and my house, anytime it rains, is messing up. Now, every time they get out, they throw some papers on my yard. They had thrown stuff in the creek to open. They plant some trees, they cut all the trees, and this is hate crime and jealousy and hateness. Also, I have 16 pear trees to hold the drain. They have messy toy don't bear pear. Now what they do, they throw their trash in the drainage I did. So I need the help. I need police protection because they have a camera to watch every move I move in my house. Yesterday, some people gave me a ride and I don't see them. I said, let me go see if they were home. As soon as I get off from the house, I saw a white truck stop at Iron Gate because whether they coming to steal from me, then they drove to Iron Gate in Terrence Avenue on the top. As soon as I pass them, I see they proceed towards Terrence Avenue. So please, I need the help.
Have you spoken to the police department?
Yeah, I called yesterday. I called the chief police officer, but I haven't heard nothing. I called Mr. Derrick. I haven't heard anything. I called about even transportation to come and see. The same thing, I didn't hear nothing. Nobody returned my call.
Okay, well, the chief of police and the deputy chief is sitting right there at the rear of the building. So if you would, please see them on your way out. That's all right. That's all right. Thank you, ma'am. Your time is up. She wants to speak to somebody. She's going to speak to somebody. Margie Trewick. That's all right. Sometimes you gotta talk to people.
My name is Margie Trewick, 599 Inman Road, Hampton. Of course,
Happy
I think all
birthday.
of you know me by now anyway. I just want to bring it to your attention. We got the notice in the paper about the rezoning and reversion and whatever on our property in the Panhandle. And it's very obvious that there's 3 parcels on there that is not on this list. And it says it's on the Technical Review Board. Now, I don't know who the Technical Review Board is and what's taken them so long to review it, but I can help them if they'll just tell me where to go. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up again because it's coming up in August and I wanted everybody to be aware. We're still here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
real quick, point of privilege. Happy birthday.
We ain't gonna have to sing to her. No, I was
Not
kidding.
singing
I was kidding.
tonight.
I was kidding. Jody Chambers.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Wow. Chair, Commissioners, thank you very much for allowing me to be here. My name is Jody Chambers, and I'm in unincorporated Clayton County. I am here because I have a whole lot of things I really want to say, but I only got 3 minutes, so I'll say one at a time. The first thing I wanted to talk to you about, in April of 2018, I sent the commissioners a letter asking them to help with a building for the Boys and Girls Club, and it was a couple of times before I got a response from Michael. He's no longer here, that he said he wouldn't be interested because they tried it in 2018. And I seen Miss Sana Gregory at a function, and I asked her the question, what does she think about it? She said, we have enough recreational centers here. And so Finally, thank you, Ms. Warner, for responding to my email, and you responded. During your response, we've been going back and forth in regards to a building and us coming together as me being a citizen, as a community, and you being commissioners, so we can finally put this thing together. I had Michael Armstrong, the vice president of the Boys and Girls Club. Me and him have been talking very much in regards to that. He's told me I can initiate trying to ask the community in regards to that. And so I see that you had rollout, and thank you, Ms. Hambrick, for getting that straightened out about it being a Boys and Girls Club at the new site that's coming up, the Intergenerational Center. $1.5 million for a Boys and Girls Club, and there's so many empty buildings out here. I think that we could do something else with that space. You know, we're spending a lot of money, and the Boys and Girls Club, now don't get me wrong, the 16-year-old fella that was here, the 16-year-old fella that was here, you know, I commend a whole lot of high school because it's all about the youth. They're all gonna become leaders one day. And that $1.5 million, if it was me as a commissioner, I would use it for a community health care. You know, our hospital, our emergency room is full of is using a lot of money, unnecessary money for health care, and it's not necessary. So I would prefer to look for another building, and I want to be included in this. You had kind of shunned me away because I guess, Felicia, you really want to just take it and run with it, but I don't think that's right. It's a community, and as Michael said, we together have to have this or we're not gonna get it done. So you saying we having a Boys and Girls Club, we don't have it yet, and there's no MOU, and there might be an
All right, your
attendant
time
letter.
is up, ma'am, but let me say this. Commissioner Warner is the one who has been spearheading a lot of that. But the building itself, we're allocating space. We're not building that building for a Boys and Girls Club. So I want to make sure that you understand.
I understand it all.
That-
We all understand that, $1.5 million. We understand that.
For what?
For space.
That space is multi-purpose.
But it wanted to be a Boys and Girls Club.
It's going to be, if we are able to work out the details to have the Boys and Girls
my
Club there.
suggestion is that we find a building alone for the kids so they can have their own space for the Boys and Girls Club. Not to be in with seniors and families and all of that, that they have their own freedom so we can build it out so they can have things to do.
Well, that area would be segregated from the other areas, but did you have anything?
I just want to invite you to the reveal that will take place.
Yeah,
I
it'll
believe
be
you
on the
should receive the
26th.
information.
Yeah.
And you'll
Mhm.
continue to receive the information.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am. Thank you.
All right.
Madam Clerk, that concludes public comment. I was also, before we proceed on, like to acknowledge Mayor DeTar, City of Morrow, as well as City Councilwoman Ms. Pat Sabo. Thank y'all for being here.
One other thing, real quick, Mr. Chair, and I don't want to prolong it. Please understand that under Commissioner Rooks, there was supposed to be two separate buildings. There was supposed to be a senior services building and a recreation center that was already slated to be built based upon the vote of the SPLOST. And so because of the collection of the SPLOST, it's being combined into one building. The only reason that we had to increase the space of the building is to give clear entrance way for the students to give our children to make sure that they're separate and they have an entrance that will allow for people to check in and check out versus the senior side of things. And I look forward to all of you all coming to the reveal. It's going to be on July 26th, and you'll be able to see the building. And we've had a couple of meetings prior to now, but this is now where we're getting ready to start breaking ground.
Madam Clerk.
Mr. Chair, I have one thing too, and
Commissioner
it's normally not my thing to, you know, go speak back to people, but sometimes it's the way things are said, and I find it out because it's recorded. I need to correct this. I never said that we have enough rec centers. My response always when people say, when they come to me and want me to help with establishing a private Boys and Girls Club and so forth, my thing is I support our Parks and Recreation program and our centers.
Ma'am.
And I believe that we can, you know, we have good programming in them, and we can expand programming in the rec centers that we have. And of course, one of my reasons is always because I know these private things takes constant funding, constant fundraising. And so that's my thing. It's not like, oh, we have enough rec centers. I love our parks and recreation. And that's it.
Madam Clerk,
Okay, the council will now entertain the consent agenda.
is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Hearing none, those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
The next item is the regular agenda, which is A, CUP 1904-0024 to allow a new gasoline service station. And I'll turn it over to planning.
Good evening. We have two related cases. If it's okay, we'll sound those two cases together. They're companion cases on one location. The case items to be sounded are CUP 1904-0024. The applicant, Sheaf Real Estate Investment, LLC, on the behalf of Byron W. Hand, is requesting a conditional use permit within the MX Mixed Use District for the development of a new gasoline service station with convenience store. The subject property is located near the intersection of Highway 85 in Riverdale, Georgia, and at the intersection of Highway 85 and Webb Road in Riverdale, Georgia. The subject property consists of 3.50 acres. The related case is rezoning 1904-0020 on behalf of Byron W. Hand, is requesting to rezone a parcel of land from MX Mixed Use to GB General Business to create the zoning then to allow the CUP as a companion case.
Mr. Chairman, let me read the directions first, please.
Please.
Okay. Citizens may speak for or against an item that is considered by law to be a zoning decision, and each side will have 10 minutes to present its case. In the event there is more than one speaker per side, speakers must divide their time in order to complete their full presentation within the 10-minute time allotment. When the time runs out, the speakers are expected to immediately cease speaking and leave the podium. Applicants or citizens speaking in favor of an item should speak first. Applicants in zoning ordinance cases shall have the right to reserve time for a rebuttal. Opponents of a zoning decision item shall have no right of rebuttal. When speaking, speak directly into the microphone and begin by stating your name, address, or the name of your organization you represent. Abusive, profane, or derogatory language will not be permitted. Holding up signs, clapping, and yelling to show support for opposition to a speaker will not be permitted. But a show of hands or quietly standing will be permitted to show support for or in opposition of a speaker.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Bray. Before you start, would you like to reserve any minutes for a rebuttal?
Possibly a couple.
We'll give you 2 minutes.
Thank you.
So, rebuttal.
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, Chairman, let me make a statement here. Since these are two related cases, we will have the public hearing presentations held separately. So we first hear the CUP, since that appears on the agenda first, and then the rezoning public hearing would be open after that.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, that confused me, but I'll go ahead. I'm Crandall Bray. I'm an attorney in Lovejoy, Georgia. This is Mr. John Azar, who represents the developer of this particular project. First of all, let me, for the record, I have filed my constitutional challenge, which the Supreme Court says I must file. So I filed it with the clerk a little earlier, and that is now on record, so I won't dwell on that. This is a development at the corner of Webb Road and Highway 85. And I have some pictures here I want to show the board, but if you'll hand these up to the chairman. This is a piece of property that particular intersection that's been there for quite some time and just haven't any takers on it. But this is an opportunity to develop that piece of property. It's going to be a Circle K on the corner, and then it's got a freestanding restaurant, and then it has a freestanding 4-unit retail store or office building. all within that confines. And I have some more pictures. Where do you go? To show the individual buildings. This is about a $3.5 million project. I realize the reservation you have about gas stations, but gas stations are what provides competition. And you know, last time I was here, y'all was talking about budget. Well, I'm here to help you budget again. That's to add this kind of development on that corner, add tremendous tax revenue and local option sales tax that goes through there. And I think it's a great opportunity. This fellow has quite a commitment, this what's his name, SAIF Investment Group. He's going to actually build it, and he's trying to buy the land subject to this conditional use and the rezone. We'll answer any questions, whatever you raise.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Bray in reference to this development? Any questions?
For the board?
From the board to Mr. Bray.
Okay. As one of our commissioners always says, and she reminded me, they're pretty pictures, so what do we have, what assurance do we have that we're not going to get something that looks quite different from the picture in terms of quality?
Well, all the plans, as I understand it, have to be submitted through the process with to the board, not to the board, but to your department. And they either approve it or don't approve it, and I assume they'll have to submit the plans just as we've submitted it.
And also, looking at it, there is space for a restaurant. You talked about a restaurant included in the parcel area, but then I see a free standalone restaurant
It's a
space
freestanding.
there.
It's freestanding, yes.
So there is going to be a freestanding restaurant
Yes,
where you
ma'am.
would solicit, well, obviously, as a business owner, you would go out and fill that restaurant space, not just like a little wing chick at the Circle K.
Sit-down restaurant.
It would be a sit-down restaurant. Okay.
Let me say this too. When I first got into business, convenient food stores would pay maybe $40,000 for a lot and build $40,000 building. Today, convenient food stores pay.
Speaking to the mic.
The Quick Trip on
Speaking to the mic.
The Quick Trip on 138 and North Avenue sold for $3.2 million. So today, you can't compare the old beat-up convenient food stores with the modern. This store will probably cost $1,800,000 just to build, then the spec space that goes with it. So this is going to be a first-class development, and you couldn't afford to do that. You couldn't afford to pay this kind of money for a piece of property unless you build a quality structure.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Not real yield time or rebuttal time, please.
I got you 2 minutes. All right, anybody want to speak in favor of this development? Anybody want to speak in favor of it? Anybody in favor? Did you say something? Okay, hearing nobody would like to speak in favor at this time, I will entertain anybody who is in opposition. All right, we'll take this gentleman up front. Again, just to remind everybody, you only have 10 minutes total. So if y'all would just line up in the aisles, and I'll select back and forth.
Respected panels.
In the aisles, Mr. Farmer. No. Right there is fine. Okay. I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, in half of
State your name for me.
Okay, my name is Kareem Lalani. I just own the gas station just across the street from them. It's a mobile, brand new gas station, mobile gas station. And on my right-hand side, there's a Citco this gentleman owns. On my right-hand side, the BP this gentleman owns. On my right, this Citco, there's one more. There are 8 gas stations in not even a half a mile, number one. Number two, there are 12 empty storefronts in the right-hand plaza and left-hand plaza. We are trying to fill that first, then give the permission for the new ones. I request the panel accept the recommendation to deny made by the zoning advisory board because the application is unconditional. Sir. Please, thank you.
The lot where they are making, trying to make the gas station is not even say 150 feet away from the other gas station on the same side. There's not even a street dividing this gas station or this property and the adjoining lot. So, as he said, there are 8 gas stations in that half-mile area, and it just doesn't make sense. If a better one comes in, competition is good, but competition does not mean that you drive the other people into the ground. They also have to be able to survive, to be able to go on. They have already put the money in there. I have put the money in there, and have to be able to sustain that. The business has not yet grown as much. It has gotten better, but it has not grown as much that it will be able to sustain another gas station in that area. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Johnson.
Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. You know, earlier
State your name.
Darlene Johnson, Rex, Georgia. Earlier I spoke about and requested a moratorium on these gas stations. This is the reason why I was actually opposed to this gas station, but considering that there are 8 other ones, I changed my mind. We need the one big one. Maybe it will run the rest of them out. We have too many gas stations in our neighborhoods. Where you got 5 or 6 gas stations all right there together, that's ridiculous. So I changed my vote.
Yes, sir, come on.
Hello, sir. My name is Rahim Samnani, and I own the Sedco just right to the street where they're building the store. I have restaurant in there. I have like couple of places there, like 3 places are still empty, and we have restaurant. People sit and dine over there. So I'm object for that too, because it's unconstitutional for the advisory board.
What's unconstitutional?
The advisory board, what they decided for the denial.
Thank you. Mr. Farmer. Yes.
Alvin Farmer, unincorporated Clayton County. Anybody bring in a business that don't include recycling in their speech, I'm denying it. And anybody building something that's gonna overcrowd our schools, I'm denying it. So this is denied. When you start finding recycling, then you come and talk to me. Thank you.
I just want to say I'm not for or against, but I want to talk to the owners who are not keeping their properties clean. I'm so sorry. I'm Jerry Haas, District 3, proud Clayton County business owner, residents, and everything else. I want to say I am not for or against, I'm sorry, but if the business owners are not keeping their properties clean, I am very upset about that. And these business owners have not been keeping their properties clean. So I know it was supposed to be a for or against, but I felt like it was the opportunity to say, you don't want somebody to come in who's going to be competitive. Well, then keep your property clean and treat us with respect. We are the people who come in and we patronize you because we live here and we love this community. We deserve clean establishments. We deserve more than chicken and wings. We deserve more than cleaners. We deserve more than 5 and dimes. We are Clayton. We are strong and we are proud. And we deserve more than dirty property by business owners in this community who don't respect us, who don't love us, but they want our money.
Thank you. And let me remind everybody once again, we're not going to have any outbursts of claps or any other kind of sounds, please. Ms. Chambers.
My name is Jody Chambers. I'm in unincorporated Clayton County. And the only thing that I have a problem with, because I know they're going to spend money in Clayton County as far as the gas is concerned, so we'll keep some money in the community. But the only problem that I do have is the retail and the restaurant. The Terra Boulevard is a food desert. And we don't need any more chicken and wings, like she was saying, as far as a restaurant. So if they're not coming with any other healthy foods or anything, or retail that we don't have already established on Terra Boulevard, I don't think it'll be a good.
You do understand it's Highway 85, right?
Well, Highway 85, Terra Boulevard, Highway 85 is also a food desert. So we really need to get we need to put some checks on that as well. So,
Anybody else? Anybody else? All right, Mr. Bray, if you would like to come forward for your 2 minutes.
Let me just respond briefly, if I may. First of all, to the gentleman recycle, we do recycle fuel. It goes in and it goes out to the ozone. It's always nice to have competition. I understand these folks who have the small stations up and down the road there. But if you think about people, where the people stop to get fuel, they go right on through Riverdale to Quick Trip because they stop at the big boys. I paid $2.69 this morning for gas. Competition's good. The way you get the price down, hold it down, is competition. And you know, a station this size will pump some 200,000 gallons of fuel per month. And that's a lot of sales. And when you start adding the sales tax and all that, I think it'd be a tremendous benefit to the community. It is a freestanding restaurant that you go in and you sit down and have a meal. It's not a drive-through with chicken wings or whatever that is. Just hope y'all approve this and we can move on with it. Thank you.
Did you say you don't know what chicken wings are? Okay, Madam, Ms. Span, did you have anything in addition?
The companion case is the rezoning 1904-0020, the same applicant, Chief Real Estate Investment. This request is to rezone the property from MX Mixed Use
No.
to GP General District. But the instructions from legal is that we should go ahead and pass a vote on the first case, which is CUP.
Yes, I was asking for, did you have anything in addition
I beg your
to
pardon.
this item that we are
I beg your pardon, I'm
currently
sorry.
on?
The CUP recommendation from the Planning Commission was for denial, and staff recommendation was for approval conditional with 10 condition items.
Okay, so you did have some conditions. Did you, at first, did you read through those?
No, the conditions.
Let's read through the conditions,
Okay.
recommended conditions.
The conditions as recommended by staff, the site shall be limited to a convenience store with gasoline service station with no more than 5 service pumps, and the remaining acreage, acreage for non-residential land use is permitted within the GB district. Prior to the issuance of a certificate of occupancy for gas station, convenience store on track A, construction on track B and C shall be in progress. Site shall be limited to 1 curb cut on Webb Road and 2 on Highway 85, subject to the approval of the Transportation and Development Department. All trash refuse areas are to be enclosed on 3 sides with brick or other masonry material consistent with the primary building materials. Provide an 8-foot sidewalk along the road frontage along Webb Road and Highway 85. No outside vending or vending type machines outside the storefront. Provide 1 trash acceptable container for each service pump. The primary facade shall be limited to brick, stone, stucco, or other masonry materials on 4 sides of the building. The gas canopy shall be reflective of the material of the primary facade, and provide a 10-foot wide landscape strip adjacent to Webb Road and Highway 85.
All right, Mr. Brady, did y'all agree to these terms of the conditions?
The only thing I'm questioning about is the 5 pumps.
Come take the podium.
As I understand the plan for this is a 5-island, which I guess if you talk about individual pumps, there's 2 pumps on an island. Because 5 pumps, I don't know how you configure that in there, but as to the other conditions, yeah, I don't think there's any problem that the, State Highway 85, that's controlled by the state. So whatever we get a curb cut on 85 would be the state's issue, and the county would control Webb Road, and we'll do whatever they require.
Okay, so let's go back to the first condition. You said there's 2 pumps.
There are 5 islands that, as Mr. Bray stated, with 2 pumps each. So we could adjust the condition to reflect 10 pumps, or we could leave it at 5 islands rather than 5 service pumps.
So 5 islands still
Yes.
does the same
Yes,
thing for you.
that's acceptable.
Okay, yeah, so you are in agreement
Yes,
with those
my
conditions?
client agrees with that.
Okay. Commissioner Warren?
Commissioner
Yeah.
Gregory has a
Gregory.
question.
Ms. Span, I see we have these conditions, this landscape requirement. Do we have other standard landscape requirements for convenience stores or or GB businesses or whatever. Do we have a standard for those?
Yes, ma'am. The zoning code does have standard landscaping as it reflects to landscaping along the frontage, as well as parking lot and landscape islands, depending on the number of parking spaces provided. But there's a requirement to have interior landscaping along the parking spaces.
Okay, so this condition is just in addition to.
In addition to,
everything
the
else.
zoning code does have basic landscape requirements as well, and what we've recommended is in addition to.
Commissioner Warner.
Okay. First, I want to say I've heard everybody. But I do have a concern, because even when it was brought up the first time, I too was not necessarily favorable of a gas station. However, we have to have the ability to get in more restaurants. And I do know in my studies and looking at those areas that are along a state route, the areas that are nicer, to one of my constituents over there, generally, unfortunately, or whatever the case may be, are the restaurant that does have an anchor of a gas station. And I did do some intense research on that. The concern I have with this is this CUP basically is just for a gas station and convenience tract. There is no mention of the restaurant. That's concerning to me. That's just my concern. I don't know why it was just presented to us just with the gas station. Is there anything legally that if it were to be approved that bounds for them to be able to put in the standalone restaurant? Because there's no wording about it here. So if it was voted on, it's not even in the stipulations or is it mentioned. The other thing is we got to get away from one level building. We need to at least get some 2-story buildings in our county, at least 2 to 3, if not even higher than that. But those are my questions.
What is the application apply? What does the application say?
The request for a CUP is for the code requires a conditional use permit for gas stations and convenience stores. So the conditional use permit is for that combination. The fast food the restaurant or the retail is automatically allowed in the GB district. So once the property is zoned GB, those will become uses that would be permissible. That we could entertain a condition if it was desired by the board to limit track A, the accompanying track, to, track B and C to a particular use if that's desired. B is the site that's slated for the restaurant, and C is the retail, is a small retail center.
And the reason I say that, once again, this is a major highway. Clayton County has 2 major corridors, 1941 and 85, that are heavily used. And personally, I would like to see some small little, not small, let me not say it that way, because Lord, I'll get backlash. But there's an area when I travel, and there's a restaurant anchoring it, and then there's a Spring Hill Suites right there. It's very small, but there's the gas station, a restaurant, and then a Spring Hill Suites. But again, this does not speak to any of that, and I know that to the business owners, it's not always palatable to have us have those discussions, but we do have to determine what we want in our county. And I will say, I'm not able to approve a standalone gas station unless we can add in some stipulations to guarantee that we're gonna get that restaurant and or some type of a Spring Hill Suite. So if we can't do that, it's gonna be a denial.
Well, may I respond to that?
Yes, sir.
My client submitted this application and the drawings that you have with those things, a freestanding restaurant. I have no problem whatsoever as that being a condition on track B. There'll be a freestanding restaurant there. Track A would be a retail, 4-unit retail outlet or office. And C would
reverse.
A would be the gas station with a CUP on it, and the other 2 was just as we presented it to you. And that would be the stipulations that ride with it.
So you can add those stipulations on there.
We can modify the condition and limit track B to a standard sit-down restaurant based on the square footage presented. And on track C, we could limit it to a retail center based on the square footage
I have
presented.
a recommendation. No retail, only the gas station that allowed for retail space already, and the restaurant can be either a freestanding restaurant, totally alone, or a restaurant within a type of a quality hotel of some sort. We don't need any more standalone retail, and really don't need any more gas stations. But if I can get we could get the restaurant with it, and it's along a state road, I believe that we can retain some dollars in the county. Is that possible legally, and is that possible through planning and zoning? And then would they agree to it?
And so just make sure I understand what you're saying. So the first tract A would be a gas station. Tract B, you're saying, would be a restaurant?
A and B would need to be hotel / a restaurant, whether they want to build or not, but that's all it'll be approved for if I consider. Whatever, however y'all do. A is a gas station, B and C, I apologize.
So B
That's
is a
it.
standalone restaurant, and she's saying no C for retail, but have it zoned where you can have a hotel.
Hotel and a restaurant, however you want to do it.
I don't
And
know
you
if-
talking about A, I'm sorry, you talking about C, it would be under GB zoning, but we couldn't do things that are in GB zoning?
They were asking for a CUP, I thought. Am I
Well,
confused?
the CUP only applies to the corner, the rest of it is basically can be.
Say that again, sir.
The CUP only applies to section A, which is under your ordinance requires the CUP to put in pumps.
Correct.
But the
So you're
rest of
saying
it,
that, so how can we zone it as, so that we can make that happen? That's for them to figure out. I can tell you what the community want. We want a restaurant. We want a place, we need hotel motel taxes of a quality hotel,
I'll
even
tell
if it's small outfit, but it need quality.
I had
So y'all
quite a-
gotta figure out how to make that happen.
I had quite a lengthy conversation with my client about the market analysis for a motel, and the hotel will not fit there.
Well, this is my recommendation. We're gonna hold this item until next month and we
They
can
gotta
come
agree
back.
to hold it.
Do we agree to hold it? And we can discuss it, or
Well, I've
else?
held this one for 2 months, I'm not sure I got
Well-
already to continue it again, because we missed that one cycle, y'all.
You missed the
held
one
us.
cycle.
But I mean, I'm just confused what you want me to do with C.
Okay, they're gonna figure that out.
Yes, we could craft a condition that would restrict track B to a sit-down restaurant, or B and C to be used in combination
Combination.
for use as a hotel. So we could add that condition to that. We also had a timing condition in there that is in order, so that we don't end up with a gas station and B and C never develop. We did put in a timing condition that say that prior to, that's condition number 2, which says prior to the issuance of a CO for the gas station on track A, constructions on track B and C shall be in progress.
All right. If you could put that and reduce that in writing, I think I'm ready for my recommendation.
That was one of the conditions.
Yes, sir. But all the other conditions about the combination.
Or are you in agreement with that?
I-
No, I don't need you to come see me next week. Now, I need you to know, is that something that y'all can agree
The
to?
restaurant we're okay with. The service station, I'm still confused. I assume we can use track A. I mean,
We're not even, just A is fine. I just want to make sure that
C,
B
I
and
guess.
C are going to be used and not just left out there, that we just have another standalone gas station.
I agree with that.
So, Miss Span, you need to clarify this, the conditions that he's agreeing to. So he and.
They're checking for permitted uses under GB, so they're checking that first so they can make sure they can put it into record.
Yes, a hotel is a permitted use within the GB district as long as it's located on an arterial. The road classification of Highway 85 should be a major arterial.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so let's go over the conditions again.
know what you were doing. You coming over there.
rather than having the retail. She said that she agreed to have a hotel there, but don't get some longer too. I know that. But you can use it for that restaurant or anything else.
You got your card?
Can't find a hotel. Hotel restaurant combination is B and C.
Let's keep the conversations low. Please, let's keep our conversations down to a minimum. Are we ready?
All right.
All right, Mr. Bray. Ms. Span, are we ready?
Yes, let's see. So this modification, the first condition that limits the use of the property. So first of all, the site shall be limited to a convenience store with gasoline service stations with no more than 5 service islands, and the remaining acreage on track B and C for a hotel or sit-down restaurant or the combination of the two permitted within the GB district.
Madam, can we put 2 restaurants on that site rather than a motel?
That would be up to the commissioner to respond to that.
We'll take 2 restaurants.
Quality restaurants.
Quality. How can we all put in there quality?
No, I'm just saying.
I'm not just saying, sir.
You're gonna have it, let's do it, right.
It's not gonna support a motel, so we've got to figure out some other alternative.
I got you. And I understand, and let me say this, I do understand there may be some concerns about parking for the hotel itself, and that was one of the discussions. So if we'll take 2 restaurants, that is not a problem at all. And the reason, again, the closest place is in Fayetteville from there, so we'll take the 2 restaurants.
Okay, so we'll delete that language as related to the hotel.
No, you're gonna leave it there. We give them, you said and or.
Okay.
You don't have to delete anything.
Hotel or restaurants.
It's already included in the language. So that way,
combination
if
of
somebody else come along and figure out a way to build that hotel, it's already zoned.
Okay, we modified the condition as read, and we'll keep in the timing, the condition on the phasing, which means that the gas station will not get a CO until construction has begun on the parcel B and C.
All right. The other thing I want to state is, real quick, before I give my recommendation, is just that we do have a new business review board. So if it's not kept clean, then you will be before that business review board and the permitting board. With the conditions that are in.
Do they agree with those conditions first?
Do you agree? Oh, yes, I say, do you? You agree, Mr. Chairman Crandall?
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Any other questions? Hearing none, those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
I hope I helped the budget. Thank y'all.
Ms. Pam. Okay, at this time, we're gonna have a public hearing. Go ahead and outline it's for the.
GB. Okay, she has to reread it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Okay, please proceed.
For companion rezoning, REZ 1904 Queen. The applicant Chief Real Estate Investments to rezone a parcel of land from MX Mixed Use to GB General Business District to allow for the development of a new gasoline service station. The subject property is located near the intersection of 85 and Webb Road in Riverdale, Georgia, and the property has 3.50 acres. There are the same conditions that are applied to the CUP are the same conditions recommended for the REZ with the modification as read on the CUP text.
Okay, so with this being a public hearing, do we need to still use the same format as prior?
Yes.
Even though
Can she read?
that,
Yeah, if they choose not to have to present, that's their choice, but we
Mr.
still
Bray
have to
still
have
here? I
the-
think they don't,
Yeah,
oh,
he's
there
right.
he goes, okay. I was about to say, I believe he's left. If you would like to speak on this and then any minutes for rebuttal.
If the record you could just reflect whatever my comments with the CUP will apply to this one, and I'll waive the rest.
Any rebuttal minutes?
Oh.
Okay. With that being said, does anybody want to speak in favor? In favor? Anybody want to speak in favor? Okay, anybody want to speak in opposition to?
So this is good. They're going to put 2 restaurants. Business is going to come in the area. We are in favor, but they can go to Taco Bell and some kind of chicken place, which I can put in my gas station too. So there has to be some kind of like Applebee's or something like that. Not a small restaurant. Right, ma'am?
I got you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Farmer.
Still again, in all these companies, I heard nothing about recycling. That gentleman talking about they recycle gas. I was talking about trash. So if he can't do that, deny him, because he kind of smart with his remarks.
That's some call for Mr. Farmer, but we understand. Yes.
Detrica Lewis. I understand that the proposal went through. However, we must consider when this new service station comes in, it is much larger. People are normally drawn to where the big lights are, and you're gonna go where the service station is. Think about the eyesore that's gonna leave on Highway 85 as of now. We already have enough eyesores. I wanna say thank you, Commissioner Warner, for understanding that we have enough empty retail spaces in Clayton County, and we don't need any more empty retail spaces. I know you've received my emails about having to travel north to sit down in decent restaurants. It's high time that it not only happens for Highway 85, thank you for cleaning up 85, but it's time for 1941 to look like some people live here, because we pay our
working on
money.
that one
And
too.
I don't mind the increase in the mill taxes, but give me something to say that I live here and it's worth my money, not what I see when I drive home.
Thank you. Ma'am.
Tanya Jean Funny, unincorporated Clayton. So my issue is that I'm trying to understand why are we only attracting gas stations and storage? That I don't understand, because we continue to say, and so now we've allowed him to hypothetically give us a restaurant. We don't know what type of restaurant. We don't know what, we've just agreed to something that we don't even know anything about what he plans to put down. If he puts a couple tables and a kitchen.
That's not allowable.
I'm just saying, like, we continue to let these types of things come in our community. And where I live in Hampton, is it easier for me to go to Fayette Pavilion to shop, or for me to go tomorrow? Because the stores that I want to travel to, that's where they are. And then when you have developers advertise Fayette Pavilion with the subdivision that they're building in Clayton County, here lies our problem. And the other thing that I have to say is that we're not going to get better if we don't all work together. And what I mean by that is the county. We have to hold our cities accountable. So I've lived in the Lovejoy area for 3 years now.
I have not seen one new store come to Lovejoy. So I go to Fayette Pavilion, which right now is putting in a New Burlington. So if we don't hold our cities accountable, like what are you bringing in? I should not have to travel tomorrow, which is much further from me, okay? And this 85, I travel 85 every day because I work in Hampton and I teach over in Riverdale area, so I'm traveling 85. It does not need another gas station, okay? And I'm not really sure what type of sit-down restaurant I'm taking my children and my husband to on 85. So 85 is full of eateries on one end. What exactly are they going to put there that's going to compete with the eateries that are on one end? We have one sit-down restaurant in the Lovejoy area where you can go, one, and then nothing down Clayton Cherry Boulevard. We have got to come together and figure out what's going on, because as we lose sales tax dollars, there's nowhere for us to shop here. There's nowhere else for us to sit down and eat, and for them to commit to a restaurant, but we don't know anything. Are they bringing a Papa Do's? I love Papa Do's. Like, they got to commit to something of quality and say, this is the type of place. Do they have a license with a franchisee? We have nothing. They're going to build a building, and then what happens when we don't patronize it because it's not what we want, it's going to be another abandoned building.
Let me say this, ma'am. Ma'am, let me say this to you, that anytime a new building or structure is built, they have to submit plans. So it's not like they're going to throw 2 tables and 2 chairs up and say this is a restaurant. They have to submit those plans, and then the community development planning department holds them accountable to build what they say they're going to build.
I'm just saying, if we don't get a commitment from them ahead of time of what type of place they're bringing in, it could be what they consider to be a nice place, but is it the place that we are going to patronize?
You know I love you to the moon and back. I am happy to talk to you offline. A lot of the things that you're putting forth are great. Trust me, I already said if I didn't have to do another gas station, I wouldn't. But you cannot legally tell them what restaurant from this dais.
But you can say that this is not what we want, but until somebody want to come and do it real development, then we'll talk about that.
Hey, you remember those stipulations? They sat there and all convened over. That's why I asked them to do that, because it holds the feet to the fire. So let's talk offline.
But I'm just saying, why can't we have developers come here that's going to put things in that we really want, instead of trying to but we're compromising with bring a gas station and then we'll bring this. Why can't we have the real developers come in and say, this is what we want for Clayton County, this is what we want Clayton County to look at. We don't want a gas station, but if you're willing to spend your $500,000 to bring this in, then we can sit down and talk. But it doesn't include a gas station. So if he has a $500,000 that he wants to invest in Clayton County, we got a whole bunch of ideas of what he can do with that $500,000.
But at the end of the day, it's up to him how he spends his money.
Exactly. But if we keep telling them, come on in, we're gonna take your money and stuff, but it's not what we really want, we end up in the predicament that we're in now.
But then, this is the last thing I'm gonna say on that, but the Department of Development Authority is working hard to bring those type of businesses to Clayton County that you want to see. Mr. Garber.
Mickey Garber, unincorporated Rex, Georgia. The fact that I want to bring forward to you about these convenience stores and service stations is in these areas is the largest concentration of garbage cans. Now, the owner of the store is responsible for those garbage cans, for emptying the garbage cans. He's also responsible for the property and keeping it clean. Let me say this. The example is QT. Every one of their properties are clean. Let's make it a stipulation that new ownership, which we need, which will bring in revenue, has a responsibility to the community for cleanliness, which that lady back there iterated. And I just wanted to let her know that I'm in agreement with her, and I hope you are in agreement with us. Thank you.
Ms. Halls, we don't need no outburst. Mr. Garber, Mr. Garber, okay,
Yes,
let's
sir.
have some order, all right?
Sir?
Let's have some order in here, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I'll sit down.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mohammed Amin, and I have a two-store next to this property. The problem is, I'm not doing a 22,000 gallon. He's talking about the 200,000 gallon, the guy. How is going to be possible? I know that if you build something new, you get a more customer, you get a customer in, I know. But what about the 8 store? There is all the close by, what they're going to do, tell me. If he's going to take the 200,000 gallons, and he's going to take all the business, what about the 8 people from them? Only one place you're going to get the revenue is good, or 8 places you get the revenue is good. First of all, the thing is, he's going to build a hotel, a motel. They're not going to do nothing, because I know who bought this property, who is the guy. I'm over here for 29 years. I'm doing the business in Clayton County. So I know that, because all the 8 family have 80 families. They survive. And this guy have 2 families to survive. So you're going to put the people, 80 family out of the door, and 2 people you're going to put in. How is going to be possible?
Your time is up, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Reed, do we need to vote on this? It's a public
Yeah.
hearing, so we need to vote before we exit out.
That's correct.
All right, is there a motion?
Can we do we need to restate the stipulations as stated before? And that is the purpose of the permitting, what is that new thing we're doing? The business permit committee or?
Business review, license review board.
License review board is to make sure that it stays clean, people. That's what it's for, I promise. So we're gonna have that in place, we're moving forward with that. But can you please just reread and reiterate the conditions?
Did you want to add a condition about the commission? Did you want to add something?
It's already addressed
No,
under
no,
the,
no.
under the.
No, that's not necessary. She's just stating the fact that that board will keep
Yes,
things
it's-
proper and in order.
We put things in place to make sure moving forward that's happening.
The modified condition will read, the site shall be limited to a convenience store with a gasoline service station, no more than 5 service islands on track A, and the remaining acreage of track B and C shall be limited to a hotel or sit-down quality standard restaurant or a combination of both within the general business district.
I make a recommendation for approval based upon the stipulations that were read,
Is there a second?
or conditions.
Probably moved in second. Any questions? Hearing none. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Next. I'll take it.
The next item is C, which is map 19-06-01 to rezone 6 parcels for the newly formed warehouse zoning district.
The Clayton County Board of Commissioners is initiating the rezoning of 5 parcels of land to the new warehouse zoning district. The following subject properties are 4141 Highway 42, 5148 Kennedy Road, 5158 Kennedy Road, 2529 Old Animal Block Road, 4570 Lake Bureau Place, 388 Lunsford Drive. And please take note that the parcel ID that's associated with each address, because the parcel ID is the binding parcel for zoning, because addresses do vary, do change in time. So the parcel ID numbers are the numbers that will solidify the zoning boundaries for the WH district, warehouse zoning district.
Yes, ma'am. You mentioned 4570 Mirror Place, but we have on notes that it was deleted because it's actually in the city of Forest Park.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. The initial advertising included that parcel is located in the city of Forest Park. The recommendation of the planning commission and staff is to remove that parcel from the rezone of warehouse district.
Thank you.
All right, this is was that it, Ms. Pam?
Yes, that's it.
Public hearing. So anybody want to speak in favor of the redistricting of the warehouse district? Or the warehouse, creation of the warehouse district? Anybody want to speak in favor of? Anybody want to speak in opposition of? All right, hearing none.
Mr. Chairman, with that, I move to approve this map that ZAG board has already approved.
I'll second the motion. Any other questions, statements? Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
The next item is CUP 1903-0023 to allow a 60-unit senior assistant living center.
Ms. Pam.
Conditional use permit request, CUP 1903-0023. The applicant, Jordan Victoria, on behalf of Spivey Crossing Development, LLC, is requesting a conditional use permit from within the mixed-use district. This request is for a senior assisted living facility. The subject property is located at 1795 Stockbridge Road, Jonesboro, Georgia. Property consists of 2.559 acres of land. Staff recommendation is for approval conditional, as well as the ZAG recommendation for approval conditional.
Okay, Ms. Victoria,
Yes.
you're the applicant.
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to reserve any minutes for rebuttal?
Sure. 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, with that being said, state your name and whatever else you would like.
Jordan Victoria stated I am the applicant for Spivey Crossing Development, and this is for memory care and assisted living as well. There would be 3 buildings on track. I believe she put up track 1, and each of the buildings will consist of 20 residential units with full commercial kitchens and suites as well. Part of this is, again, we do agree to all of the conditions that the planning board has actually recommended for us, so we don't have any opposition on our side regarding what's requested for approval.
Okay. Thank you. Sure. Yes, sir. State your name for me.
Sure. Chairman Turner, honorable commissioners, my name is Paul Singh. Actually, this is a privilege and a very, a nice moment for me because I grew up here in Clayton County. I'm a graduate of Riverdale High School. My brother went to Jonesboro High School, and this project is really personal for me. I lost my father in 2017. We've been here in Clayton County for 35 years, and in the Riverdale and Jonesboro area, as I mentioned to you, I graduated from Riverdale High School, and I was fortunate enough and privileged enough to get a Clayton County education, and I hold that, as a standard that I want to see Clayton County reestablish. And as being a Clayton County resident and getting the education, I was fortunate enough to get a degree in engineering, civil and environmental engineering, and I have a small business owner here in Atlanta. And my brother, he's a Jonesboro High School public school graduate. He is a neurosurgeon in New York now. And so that, to me, that's a testament of what Clayton County is capable of and should be and will continue to be capable of. This project here, as I told you, my father had begun it, and I feel like this is just the beginning of an opportunity for us to establish quality, needed development for something for the elderly at this point in time with this memory care facility. Also, I'd like to hopefully commit to you as a small business owner. I'm a construction guy, general contractor. I've done work all over the Southeast U.S. with the military, with the federal government, and I'd like to do something here at home in Clayton County to be able to work with you, and hopefully in a public-private partnership to help establish some more precedents with the education goals here in Clayton County. Also, some of the things I've heard here from the Clayton County residents of establishing quality, affordable restaurants that we can go and sit down at and have dinner at and have lunch at and breakfast at. I had growing up, Ophelia Burrows, I'm the Clayton County School Board member, also relative of Representative Dave Scott, sat down in their kitchen. They said, we can't have a sit-down restaurant here because it's not going to be able to be supported in Clayton County. I think we need to make it happen, not just think it's not going to happen. So we will work with you. I will commit to you as I've been fortunate enough to get the education that I've been privileged with here in Clayton County to help Clayton County get some more quality developments. So if there's anything that I can, do with Clayton County here to establish that public-private partnership, you have my commitment. I do business here with Clayton County also on the public side. But I just wanted to say that because this is a personal thing for me, and I hope that this is the beginning of multiple developments, quality developments, to establish all your goals here today.
Well, we appreciate those words, and make sure you leave us a business card. You had something else, ma'am?
No, I just wanted to just kind of piggyback on what Paul had said as well too. It is very personal to me too. So I was raised in Clayton County in College Park, and my mom was a resident on Walt Stevens for over 35 years up until last year. She had a stroke 2 years ago. So for me, this project is personal as an interior designer to come in and to build something in a community that I'm very familiar with that can actually assist people that need the assistance. And for her, thank goodness and praise God that she is in a position that she is almost back to herself, probably 95%. But what was concerning to my siblings and I when that happened to her, there wasn't a facility that was close by that if we needed to actually utilize it to be able to place my mom into, that we knew that would look over her, that she would be fine with. So we had to bring her closer to one of my other siblings so that we can watch over her. So again, it is very personal to me. I know it's something that the community needs and that is lacking. And I've walked through the different franchises with them and seen some of the other facilities, and they're designed very well and very clean. The residents that are there are happy. It's something that the family can come and visit them, that they still feel like they're at home, but yet they're still in their community and they're not taken too far outside of the community.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, is there anybody here who'd like to speak in favor of this request? Mr. Jefferson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm very, very familiar with Ms. Jordan Victoria's work, and I can tell you that she is going to bring the spirit of excellence that I reiterate about all the time. I know that this facility will be a first-class facility and a true enhancement in the direction that we want to take the county. So I greatly would encourage a positive vote on this endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Chambers.
As part of the Advisory Board for Behavioral Health Development Disability, we do have a 16-room unit at Southern Regional Hospital, and I think that it being there to help complement the assisted living would be a great idea. So them two working together would be great.
Anybody else? Mr. Leatherwood.
Evening, Rob Leatherwood, unincorporated Riverdale, Chairman Board. I just want to echo that I would like to see this be approved. As someone who can kind of piggyback on what he said, as a product myself of growing up in Clayton County, in Riverdale, graduating from Riverdale High School as well, and someone who actually had an opportunity to help care for my grandmother before she passed. I was fortunate that we didn't have to put her in an assisted living home, but understanding the responsibility and the due diligence that we have to our seniors, and to make sure that we are taking care of them and providing them with first-class services and establishments where they can live and be comfortable, and kind of extend their, I don't want to say end of days, but just kind of give them the most flexibility and independence that we can for our seniors. So I would just again like to echo that I agree with Zag to approve this. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Take the mic, sir. Speak to us, sir, and speak into the mic.
Would you be open to hiring handicapped individuals?
And what is your name?
Fred Zimmerman.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Okay, anybody like to speak in opposition to it? Come forward, please.
Evidently, that young lady sat right there and didn't hear what I said.
State your name anyway.
Alvin Farmer, Incorporated Clayton County. Again, I ain't heard say nothing about recycling. We as senior citizens being the young people ain't starting, y'all ain't starting, then maybe we should start it. So if they, if they,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but again, according to our new format, the time has already expired. So I give you 30 seconds to say what you gotta say, but your time's already expired. 30 seconds, go ahead.
well, ain't nobody talking about recycling, y'all, them, and nobody else that came up to this podium. So if you're not gonna recycle, we need to deny you, because I informed you that New York and New Jersey recycle because they ran out of landfill space, and y'all haven't learned that yet. One day, we're gonna run out of landfill space if y'all don't get smart and do it now.
Okay, thank you. We've definitely heard the message. You got 2 minutes, Victoria, if you want to have a rebuttal. You don't have to take your 2 minutes if you don't need.
Sure, I will pass on the rebuttal. Thank you very much.
Okay, Ms. Span, please
Yes, I'd like to
reread the,
refer to the conditions that's recommended by the ZAG Advisory Group. The minimum living requirement for each dwelling unit shall be 576 square feet. Each proposed building shall be a maximum, and I'll make a correction here, 24 residential units per building as shown on the site drawing. An 8-foot sidewalk shall be provided adjacent to Stockbridge Road. The maximum facade height shall be limited to 50 feet. The conditional use is limited to a senior assisted living facility. And this is a 6th condition, a 40-foot buffer shall be placed adjacent to all residential zone properties.
you're in agreement with these conditions? Miss CO, you doing something over there?
He playing the drums.
I'm telling you.
Mr. Amber has a question. Thank you, Matthew.
That's all it took.
I told you it wasn't me.
Did you have a question for them before I?
Well, yes, I just have a question in general regarding parking.
Yes.
What kind of parking, or would it be for the, anyway, parking?
Yeah, so actually, there's, you can see inside the site plan there that the parking is laid out, and it's for whatever's required through planning and zoning that we've gone over, so we put in the required parking for that.
Okay, do you have parking for the visitors?
Yeah,
That
that's what-
visit
that's
the
what this is.
facility?
It's,
Okay.
it's visitors, yes, it is visitors.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So with that being said, let me first of all extend apologies for Commissioner DeMont Davis. He had a family emergency he had to tend to, so unfortunately he was not able to make this meeting. I did speak to him, and he did state to me that he supports anything for our seniors. He figures, well, he stated that, you know, we appreciate our seniors, and we got to make sure that we in Clayton County provide the best we can for our senior population, whether it's assisted, whether it's recreation, or whatever it is. He wants to see the very best. So we're holding you to make sure that you build this facility to our expectations and make something of quality that our seniors can be proud of, and don't put them in a situation that they will be calling us or even saying that, hey, this is a bad place for us to be. But with that being said, again, he reiterated to me that he's in support of this, and with that being said, I'm gonna make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I second that motion.
Any other questions or statements?
I just want to say, I can't say I know because I'm in this position, but I knew your father very well. And it just pleases me to be able to second that motion. The last time I saw him was in the office discussing this.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other questions, statements?
Chairman, did they agree to those conditions?
Yes, you did agree.
Okay.
She
Yes.
agreed to it. Say I agree to those
I
conditions.
agree to those
Thank you.
conditions.
Thank you. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Mr. Chairman, that's all except for the appointments, board appointments.
All right. First appointment is to the Animal Control Board. Whatever. Mr. Farmer. First appointment is to the Animal Control Board. This is to fill the unexpired term for Miss Virginia Stevens, who resigned. And the term will commence immediately and expire March 12, 2021. Is there a recommendation? Any recommendations? We'll hold that till the next meeting, Madam Clerk. Next appointment is for Board of Appeals. Ms. Tina Shiflett was appointed to fill the unexpired term of Herschel Treywick on the Board of Appeals on July 2nd, 2019. However, she resigned. Therefore, this appointment is to fill the unexpired term of Herschel Treywick. It is to start immediately and expire on December 31st, 2021. Any recommendations?
Yes, I recommend Mr. Van Sheaves.
I'll second that motion. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Next appointment is to the Board of Appeals. This is to fill the expiring term of Dr. Don McMillan Jr. The new term begins August 19th, 2019, and expires August 19th, 2022. Any recommendations?
I recommend Ms. Funny, if she would take it, Ms. Tanya, if she'll accept it.
I'll second the motion. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Next appointment is to the elections. No, that one was removed. Appointment to the Solid Waste Management Board. This is to fill the unexpired term of Miss Flora Myers, who resigned. Appointment would start immediately and expire August 20th, 2022. Is there any recommendations? All right, Madam Clerk, just hold that till next meeting. Next appointment is the Zoning Advisory Group. This is to fill the expiring term of Miss Addie Whitaker. The new term will begin August 19, 2019, and expire August 19, 2022. Any recommendations?
Mr. Chair, I offer a motion to reappoint Ms. Whitaker to continue serving on the Zoning Advisory Group.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. That was Commissioner Hambrick, second the motion. Next one is appointment to the Zoning Advisory Board. This is to fill the expiring term of Mr. Keith Parker. The new term will begin August 19, 2019, and will end August 19, 2022. Any recommendations?
Yes, I would like to reappoint Mr. Keith Parker.
I'll second that motion. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Next appointment is to the Department of Behavior, Health, and Developmental Disabilities Board. This is to fill the expired term of Ms. Brenda Roberts. This board serves for 3 years. Therefore, the term will be 3 years after the appointment date, which would be this date. Any recommendations? Hold that till next board meeting. Next item is appointment to the License Review Board. This is a 2-year appointment to the License Review Board created by Ordinance 2019-51. The term will begin July 16th, 2019, and will expire July 16th, 2021. Any recommendations?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to recommend Ms. Rosinette Kirby.
Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Gregory, second the motion. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Appointment to License Review Board. This is a 2-year appointment also to the License Review Board created by Ordinance 2019-51. Term will begin July 19th, 2019, will expire July 16th, 2021. Any recommendations?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd like to recommend Ms. Valerie Williams of Rex, Georgia.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Next appointment is also to the License Review Board, 4-year. This is a 4-year appointment to the License Review Board created by Ordinance 2019-51. This term will begin July 16th, 2019, and will expire July 16th, 2023. Any recommendations?
Can we hold?
I would like to recommend Ms. Alicia Harvey. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hambrick. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Next appointment is to License Review Board. This is also a 4-year appointment. It was created by Ordinance 2019-51. Term will begin July 16th, 2019, and will expire July 16th, 2023. Any recommendations?
Mr. Chair, may I recommend that these last two, since there are 5, and Commissioner Davis is not here, and Commissioner Hambrick, we allow each commissioner that appointment. May I ask that we hold these two?
Okay, you
I
didn't.
agree.
Next meeting?
Yes.
So
That's
moved.
what I was gonna ask anyway, can we hold it, but you had something for the other.
Okay, yeah.
Second that.
I didn't ask a motion yet. Hold on a second. All right, Commissioner Gregory, would you like to offer that up as order?
Yes, offer a motion to hold the, two appointments,
Last two.
last two appointments to the License Review Board until the next meeting.
Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Commissioner Hambrick. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Mr. Reed, do we have?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Your Honor. I like it. I like it now. I like
Don't
it.
do
I
that.
like it.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
It must be
I'm
a
moving on up.
post-July something, a late meeting. Your Majesty, we have executive session on litigation only.
All right, we have request for executive session for litigation. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you. All right, motion to reconvene.
So moved.
I'll second the motion. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Mr. Reed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have a request for a property damage resolution or settlement relating to the payee is Amica Mutual Insurance Company. The claimant is R. Kennedy or ARRE. It's relating to an incident that occurred on January 9, 2019, when one of our deputies made a U-turn and collided with her vehicle. The amount is $6,932.10, and we're asking for approval. And also, it's just a property damage only, not bodily injury at this time.
All right, is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Second by Commissioner Warner. Those in favor, aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second the motion as well. Those in favor, aye. Opposed? It's unanimous.
Second that.